Perfect. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Duncan Simpson. I represent the Army Film and Photo Unit. I've operated in Second World War.
Okay, and can you tell us a bit about the AFPU? Because most people have probably never heard of it.
Right, well, it came into being early on in the war in response to the British public, who were desperate to see things that their brave boys were doing, and they could not see anything at the cinema. There was no TV by then. The Army thought, well, we can either get more war correspondents in to do this, or we can have our own unit. And so they thought, we'll go for the unit, that way we can control the media.
Yeah. When was it actually set up?
Couldn't tell you the actual date.
Yeah, just roughly, because like I said, most people have never heard of it. It's obviously...
Well, it was probably 1940.
Yeah.
1940.
Well, that would fit if the French were sort of doing footage,
Yes,
wouldn't
yeah.
it? Yeah. So, it obviously served in Northwest Europe.
Yes.
Where else did they serve?
Oh, they served in all theatres of war. Italy, North Africa, Burma, India, Japan, you name it. Not Japan, obviously.
Well, I guess they probably would have had footage after the surrender in Japan.
Yeah, probably so.
In fact, I'm guessing probably some of the one at the surrender in Tokyo Harbour would probably have been filmed by the AFPU.
But I've not actually seen that.
That'll be some research for us to do, won't it? Yeah. So, what made you pick the AFPU as a reenactment?
Because you don't have to get weapons. You don't have to invest a lot of money in weapons. You have to invest a lot of money in cameras instead.
Yeah. Let's not
And
go.
It gives you something different to talk about.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual just here's another gun.
Yeah. And let's not go into how much cameras cost. My other half might listen.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, what sort of kit did they actually carry with them?
The kit, they carry the normal soldier's gear with a personal protection weapon, a revolver, but other than that, just have the cameras, this, that, and they're normal everyday kit.
Yeah.
Knife, fork, spoon, etc.
Yeah. Now, you were saying as well the camera was a really unusual story behind them because they were
there is a very
unique.
unusual story about it. This is a genuine wartime camera. You can tell it's genuine wartime, and it is British to British specification, and it is black around there. And every other camera made by this company during the war, before the war, after the war, all got a bit of stainless steel bling around there. The British didn't want that because to catch the light, you know. And so they ordered these from the factory in black.
Yeah. And how did they obtain them? Because that was fascinating.
Well, the factory in question is the Zeiss factory, which is German, and they wanted the best camera in the world. A lot better than the Kodak box brownies. So they had the ambassador from Gibraltar organise his staff to go over to Spain and Portugal and order the cameras from there, and the guy in the factory in Germany probably scratched his head a bit wondering why they all wanted these black cameras, but they supplied them because they were paid by good British pesetas.
That's a lovely little story, that. I think that's one of those lovely bits of history that you never come across. Yeah. There were also a few incentives, weren't there, to volunteer for the...
Oh yeah. I mean, the volunteers, they had 3 months training and went back. And if they were a private soldier, they went back with 3 stripes, which must have been worth £50 a week, something like that, I don't know what. They got the cameras, and they got the guns, and maybe they got the girl as well.
Yeah. They also got a lovely document, you said, as well.
Yes, they got a wonderful document from the MPs, which allowed them to go anywhere. They told the MPs, you may not stop this man. He can go to the booze, he can go to a brothel, he can go anywhere.
That's going to be probably the most useful thing for a squaddie in the Second World War.
Absolutely, yeah. But inevitably, most of them went back to their units.
Yeah. But it wasn't a cushy job, was it?
No. 23% of them paid the ultimate price. A lot of people seem to think that it was a cushy number, but no, he had a lot of different things going with it.
Yeah. I mean, they actually dropped into Arnhem as well, didn't they, some of the camera team?
Yes, there were 3 cameramen, all trained paras, and they went into Arnhem One of them, Jock Walker, he filmed as he was parachuting down with his cine camera, which is with the biggest lens you've ever seen. He got the biggest one in that field without a doubt. And when he landed, he carried on filming the rest of them for him.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me to sort of hear you talk, because obviously I've seen a lot of the footage, not just of Arnhem but of Bergen-Belsen, and then to realise that this is actually filmed by these guys.
Yes.
You don't think who's on the other side of the camera.
No, you don't. No. Like Mike Lewis, he was one of the first ones into Bergen-Belsen. He took charge on that first night and organised them. Said there's ground rules for making motion movies as opposed to still camera stuff. You've got to get the buildings in, got to keep it running, make sure that no smart arse lawyer going to get anybody off a charge at war crimes trial.
Yeah, it's very interesting that even at that point he's thinking the war crimes trials.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's...
He was aware that it was likely to be happening. Obviously, he wouldn't know for definite, but he knew they were winning, and there were going to be some trials. There could not be some trials.
No. So, you can say it's an amazing story, and to see somebody reenacting it is fascinating, and to see the Jeep as well with the camera on. And you were saying as well that the British insisted on tripods for the cameras.
Yeah. Early on, they had plenty of handheld stuff with these cameras. But the Bell & Howell camera is really quite heavy. There is a hand grip for it, but you can't keep it steady. And they show some of the early films to local cinemas close to Pinewood Studios, and everybody was leaving it because of getting motion sickness and going to throw it up. And so they put a blanket on it that it has to have a tripod, otherwise it just gets put in the bin.
Yeah, it's highly amusing when you then look at when you see the ones who are trying to be really authentic in film, like Saving Private Ryan, and it's all handheld and shaky. I'm never going to be able to watch that in the same way again. But that's been absolutely fascinating, and like I said, to see something that isn't particularly common in a reenactment is fantastic. So thank you very much.
Okay, my pleasure.